cannot give you back your homes or restore your dead to life.
But perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king.
Hey everyone, the season premiere for Game of Thrones just aired, and as we all probably expected, there were many reunions at Winterfell. So without any more delay, let's break down everything we saw in the first episode. Starting off, Jon Snow and Daenerys arrive at the Stark's castle. All of the Northerners are visibly distraught by the fact that the Targaryen queen is now being housed within their walls. Not only are they upset that the king in the north relinquished his crown and bent the knee to a house that has historically been enemies with the Starks, but Daenerys brought her 2 dragons and her massive armies with her. You can see just the sight of dragons completely bewildered and mystified the northern allies. And if that's a sign of things to come, how are the citizens of Westeros going to take dealing with the army of the dead, where every victim slain just gets resurrected to fight for the Night King? When Jon reaches the castle's courtyard, he lays eyes on Bran, who he hasn't seen from the beginning of the story. Jon embraces Bran, but if you notice, every time someone hugs or connects with the Three-Eyed Raven, it doesn't take but a second for characters to feel that young Brandon Stark has been forever altered. The audience obviously knows the changes Bran has gone through to reach this point in his character's timeline, but Jon doesn't. I think it is very important to remember Bran is always letting the viewers know he is not the crippled boy we fell in love with from the beginning. He does not live to please his remaining family members, but rather he makes it a point that time is not on the living side. Bran knows everything, and I mean everything. He knows what is coming for them, and what it must take to stand a chance at surviving the Night King and his disciples. Sansa, on the other hand, does not want to embrace the idea a Targaryen queen is now running the show. We have to remember Sansa was groomed to be the lady she is now by people like Cersei and Baelish, not the most honorable and gentle souls in the realm. That is why Tyrion and Sansa's reunion wasn't as well-natured as it could have been. Sansa grew to respect Tyrion during her time in King's Landing. He was the only Lannister who ever showed her true respect, but now he is the hand of the queen to Daenerys, who is not trusted by the Lady of Winterfell. You can see Sansa is still most likely undermining the leadership of Jon and Dany, speaking with people who clearly don't want anything to do with the new alliances forming at Winterfell. I would keep a close eye on the actions of Sansa Stark over the course of the next few episodes. She may just be planning something only a person like Cersei would dare attempt. Moving on, we see Gendry helping unload the dragon glass brought from Dragonstone. He asks if that was all they had, foreshadowing the idea that even with wagon loads of White Walker kryptonite, it likely won't be enough. When Jon is at the weirwood tree, Arya sneaks up on him. They talk about how Arya has used Needle a few times, the blade Jon had smithed for her before he went to the wall to take the black. He shows her Longclaw, which Arya immediately notices is Valyrian steel, and Jon asks, "Are you jealous?" Arya laughs it off, but fails to show Jon her Valyrian steel weapon, the Cat's Paw blade. This is another example of foreshadowing. Jon asked how did she sneak up on him like that, which points to the idea that she could virtually do that to anyone. That's not even taking into account her ability to switch faces. If Arya is able to do this to Jon, who else could she do this to? The fact that Arya has such a unique set of skills, including stealth, and holds a blade proven to be devastating to White Walkers, could elevate her character to be able to take out some powerful enemies, and that even includes Cersei. Cersei has ulterior motives when it comes to helping fight the dead. She would rather let the Night King destroy her enemies for her, because in her mind, the dead army will never make it as far south as King's Landing, leaving her unharmed and without any competition for the throne. Sansa knows this, and that is why she told Tyrion she once believed he was the most clever man in the world, but suggests she doesn't feel that way anymore, now that he takes his sister at her word. Arya and Sansa seem to trust each other at the moment, and depending on how fast the timeline moves, the Lady of Winterfell may just send her assassin sister to infiltrate King's Landing and take out Cersei. Just a thought. But out of every scene in the premiere episode, 2 of them are likely the most important. Of course, Samwell Tarly telling Jon about his true lineage in the crypts is the biggest reveal in the series to date. We as the audience have known of Jon's past for a while now, but at this time, the true king of the Seven Kingdoms must realize his purpose in the story and prepare for the fight of his life. Sam tells Jon that he is in fact Aegon Targaryen, 6th of his name, the true heir to the Iron Throne. We will see in the coming weeks just how Jon handles his truth. But before I wrap this up, we must talk about Jon flying Rhaegal. He is the only one to fly a dragon other than his biological aunt Daenerys. And it's even more poetic that he flew on the dragon named after his real father. Now that Jon has had the experience of controlling and flying a dragon, it must mean it will happen again before all is said and done. Whether Jon hops on Rhaegal during the Battle of Winterfell in episode 3 or after, it seems this moment in episode 1 sets up an opportunity for Jon to take the reins and use a dragon to his advantage in the near future. Other than that, I know there are more scenes and reunions not discussed, but as the week progresses, we will dig even deeper into this first episode. If you liked any part of this breakdown, please subscribe and hit the notification bell, as I will be uploading daily during this final season. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, take care, and I will see you tomorrow.